2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Hope you had a nice weekend. Time for another week of trading, huh? Yeah, you might see a little different format. I just want to test today. But we will go through the commitment of traders report. We will go through the calendar. We'll do some technical analysis. I'm going to try breaking up the videos from like a big long hour-and-a-half video to a bunch of little smaller videos based on subject matter, if you don't mind. Just play around with an idea. Yeah. So you'll see pauses in between as I reset the recording process. Okay? But we'll do this live as always. Hopefully you can see the charts. So one thing I always have to do in every video is I have to tell you that the stove might be hot. So trading and investing is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not indicative of future results. Hey, you could lose money, yo. Hey, I got this twice. Okay, so I'm going to have to do that. And then you should have the desktop. Cool. Well, let's start right off the bat. Let's do the calendar. So this video will focus specifically on the calendar, and then I'll do another one for commitment of traders report, so on and so forth. So you don't have to try searching around through these bigger, longer videos. But how was your weekend? You do anything interesting? I'm going to filter this out. 3 stars for the week. Setting up the dollar long again. Yeah, it just shows you after that non-farm payrolls how many professional and institutional investors there were short Euro USD. They, and it collapsed just like that. One event, and that's what happens. And this is why we go through the calendar looking for event risk, because that can happen when you have a crowded trade. So in that case, that was the trade of the year. We know that. I mean, Euro USD short should not be a surprise at all. If you line up the divergence in central banking policy, that's Forex 101. And then all of a sudden they all need to exit by the end of the year. Okay, fine. So that's what happens. Another trade that does that are carry trades, where everyone's long, everyone's long, everyone's long, everyone's long, and all of a sudden everybody's out. And I'm not joking. In one day you can wipe out a month worth of work. Morning, YJ. Were we on for later, YJ? Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Cool. Hey, Daniel. All right, cool. So let's go through the calendar. Here's our event risk. I don't think we have a risk of a collapse in any market, but you have to ask yourself what you want to do with the Euro USD. For example, one of the things I talked about after non-farm payrolls on Friday, after it rallied up, I said, maybe, just maybe, we double bottom by the end of the year. We don't have to. And there was a possibility that Euro USD could have risen a little higher. But if you look at the monthly pivot points, I believe it was monthly R1 that ended up being the top. And so that could mean we can go down to the monthly S1, or I think there was a moving average on the long-term time frame that suggested maybe a double bottom. But you have to ask yourself, is that what you want to see, and is that what you're going to participate in as, a portfolio manager? You're managing your own money, right? So as a money manager, what are you going to do for your client, your number one client, you? Are you going to, short Euro USD and work its way down? Who knows? But let's go through the event risk. Okay. Bank of England, speech. Mark Carney could say something important. This is going to possibly impact the value of the Great British Pound. Okay. Anytime a central banker speaks publicly, especially the governor, or the Fed chair or something. There could be something that changes policy or makes the market believe the chances or probabilities of a change in policy is heightened under these things. And that is exactly what changes portfolios. If you need another institution to move the market for you, because I don't know about your account size, my account's not big enough to move the market. So I have to try to figure out what are those participants that do have large enough portfolios to move the market, what's going to make them change their current holdings, right? Like everyone was short Euro USD until non-farm payrolls, and then all of a sudden they simply got out. And that's one of the things that that we need to pay attention to over the next few weeks is, are they going to tiptoe back into those positions? And that's why we have the Commitment of Traders report. Oh, Kip, you're on an iPhone. You don't have the video? Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know anything about that. You know what tech support always says? Make sure it's plugged in. Reboot. So, yeah, sorry. All right. So, anyways, industrial production out of the UK. As you know, I'm expecting some big numbers out of the UK at the end of the first quarter. So anything good here would be fine. But there's only 1.1% year over year expect from last month. So I don't know. Let it happen. I don't think that'll be the market mover. Okay. But I'd like to see a good number out of there if my philosophy is going to hold true that good numbers are going to come out of the UK at the end of the first quarter. So I don't want to see a bad number here. Okay. All right. Governor Pelosi. Pelosi is going to come out for Bank of Canada. What is Canada going to do with the oil prices being so low and falling further? So as you know, OPEC did not cut production, which means they're going to continue to try to drive down prices. Holy smokes, eh? And, Canada produces a lot of things, so they don't really just need to rely on oil, right? They also have copper. Ooh, wait, that's way down. They also produce iron ore. Oh, wait, that's down. And nickel, wow, that's down. And potash, that's down. Wheat, that's down. It's like, oh, wow. Wow. Commodity prices are down on everything, right? Like, wow. But anyways, the headline number, I don't know if you're watching it, but we broke through 40 this morning. There it is, eh? So, not stabilizing yet, like, I'm keeping my ball in the commodities, but another low. So that's going to hurt Canada, right? So what's Pelosi going to do about it? What's Pelosi going to do about it, right? Right? So, wow. Are they going to cut interest rates further? I mean, seriously, what's the monetary policy going to be? So that could be a market mover. There, we can learn something new there. They're in a world of hurt. Like maybe later we'll look at the USD CAD. I mean, it's broken through some key levels. It's looking bad again. We might be on our way to 150. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Well, if that seems impossible, I'll tell you what, I grew up in the 80s in Canada, and it was 50 cents to the dollar. So we can go a lot further than 150, so wow. So what's Pelosi going to do about it to save Canada? So that's going to be a doozy, all right? Put that on your calendar, eh? And then inflation out of China. Should we care about that? Or should we just skip it? No, wait, whoa. Chinese CPI? Yeah, okay. Well, look, I don't expect a good number. Let's just put it that way. All right, so, but eventually we want to see an improvement. I don't think we're going to see good numbers out of China until we see better numbers out of Eurozone And that could be any time by the end of the year or the end of the century, right? I mean, think about the world we live in now. Mercedes SUVs are made in the United States and shipped back to Germany. What? What a topsy-turvy world, right? That's all of a sudden like Batman is a bad guy and he's out robbing banks. You're like, whoa, it doesn't make sense anymore. So, wow. So, anyways, I think that could be a market mover. Might as well trade Asia, man. Could be a scalp in there, right? For the very least. Okay. What about an interest rate decision? Should we care about that? Could be. A cut? Wow. Are they going to cut? So that's another one to watch, don't you think? An interest rate cut, that's a policy change. That's an accommodative policy change. Yeah, that could be a doozy, man. I don't know if New Zealand has ever been 2.50. Just like Australia is stuck at 2.0, that's the all-time low, right? I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but that 2.5 could be the all-time low if they cut. But don't you think you should trade that? Okay. Yeah. Followed up by Aussie jobs report. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, what a good trading week, huh? Wow. Nice. And this is the one, by the way, I was telling you about, many years ago. I'm eating my steak and drinking a glass of wine at the Waldorf Astoria. And then I'm like, all right, boys, I got to go. I need to make some money. I'll be back in a half an hour. Go upstairs to my hotel room, open up the laptop, right? Aussie jobs report comes out, buy the fib retracement, boom, pay for the whole day, the hotel, the meal and everything, shut the laptop down, go back to the bar. Boom, high fives, everybody. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that was an Aussie jobs report. It's one of my favorite trades. It will whipsaw you though, so be careful. Be careful, right? This is one where you take your 50 pips and run kind of thing, right? It has a tendency of 50 pips up, 50 pips down, 100 pips up, but you're not in it. There's something, just the personality. So, I mean, just wow. Aussie jobs report, Kiwi interest rate decision, Chinese CPI, like, what more do you want? Right? Pelosi will probably wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint about an interest rate cut. Okay? Wow, there's just like, what a beautiful week. Bunch of, bunch of Swiss news. Ugh. The dirty, rotten, two-faced Swiss National Bank. They're going to open up their filthy mouths and say something. So I don't know. I guess we should pay attention to that because policy change, small policy change, but at the ECB. So what's the Swiss National Bank going to do about it, right? Still haven't forgiven the Swiss about that. I used to love the Swiss. You're like, hey man, you can count on the Swiss. You can always count on the Swiss. Huh. Yeah, that changed. All right. So, and then, I don't know, should we pay attention to the Bank of England interest rate decision? It's a ridiculously good week this week, huh? So, yeah. Okay. Just unbelievably great week. So we're going to learn a lot about their monetary policy, their interest rates decision, what the Monetary Policy Committee is thinking, when are they going to wind down the asset purchase facility, what do they think about GDP, what do they think about future growth, because I've prepared you for, I'm expecting, the end of the first quarter to have good GDP, and by the end of the second quarter, like June or maybe September, probably September, the Bank of England starts raising interest rates. So you got to before you make your big move, you got to light the candles and set the table and, pour a glass of wine. And that takes about a year. So I think that process should start now. Okay. Then the Aussies come out December 11th. They're going to tell us about their future. Great. We should pay attention. That's something you should read. U.S. retail sales, fine, whatever. U.S. PPI, yeah, fine, whatever. I mean, it'll be fine. These are little tiny little scalps. I wouldn't make a big deal of them. I'd just do what my plan was. Then we have consumer sentiment. How do you feel about the economy? I don't care. I don't care how they feel. And then how about this? In Chinese industrial production. Boom. That's huge, guys. Now look at this big giant calendar. That is only the 3-star events this week. Beautiful trading week, guys. Beautiful trading week. And a lot of them are the right type of events, too. Chinese inflation, Chinese industrial production. I mean, huge, right? The Swiss National Bank following up the ECB. That could be a market mover. Interest rate decisions out of multiple countries, plus, discussions of future potential policies. I mean, just like massively awesome trading week, guys. Watch the calendar and then, pay attention. Like maybe you should get into a pound trade today and a CAD trade today because maybe something tomorrow happens. And what about the Kiwi? Are you going to play it after the news or before the news? Well, if you're going to play it before the news, don't make it an hour before the news. Make it 24 hours before the news and have a stop at break even. And what happens if they cut, right? Could probably weaken. If they don't cut, could probably strengthen. So, think about it, put it together in a timeline, and I think we're going to have a fabulous, wonderful trading week. And we got this trading week, then we got next trading week, another good one, and then everything's going to dry up because of the Christmas week holidays. Okay? And then the following week, the last week of December, I think we have 3 good trading days of probably year-end taxation type, flows. Okay? Based on got to get the trade done, got to get the deal done, whatever it is, before the end of the year because of the calendar year, because of taxes, because of whatever. There's lots of pressure for whatever reason. And then after the New Year break, so now I'm talking like 4 weeks from now, there's a lot of things that need to be cashed out of in the new year. And why are they doing that? Because if you're not mark to market, so if it's a currency trade, we are mark to market. But what if it's another type of deal that's not mark to market but has to go through the foreign exchange market? So what they want to do is instead of taking profit, in December and pay taxes, at the next tax, so like in the United States, let's say you cash out of a deal and you make money, and if you do it in December, you're going to have to pay your taxes in April because it happened in the calendar year 2015. And you're like, I don't want to pay taxes this year. I want to defer, delay. The ultimate tax strategy, right? So what do? That one little thing? Take profit in the first week of January, because then when are your taxes due? April 2017. You're like, 2017? I can't even think that far, right? So defer, delay. Best tax strategy ever, right? So we can get some money flow there, and then whoop, the whole world's probably going to change. So we got to pay attention. So there it is on Forex.Today, the week ahead, as you should know it and as you should trade it. I think it's going to be a great week. So I'm going to pause this, and then we'll start the new video and we'll go through the commitment of Traders Report. How does that sound? Cool.